The call came as the church bells began to ring. Not celebratory, furial, heavy like they knew. "Sir," the contractor said, voice stripped of professionalism. "I need you to come see what we found, but don't come alone. Bring your 2 sons." I stopped walking. The stone steps bit into my shoes. Cold air lodged in my lungs. "Why would you say that?" I asked. There was a pause, not a technical delay, a moral one. "You should see it together," he said, "before anyone else does." The bells kept ringing. My heart nearly stopped. 1 year earlier, my wife had died quietly. Too quietly. A sudden illness, they said. No warning, no drama, just absence. A body where warmth used to live. A house that echoed wrong. She had an office above the old church, a place she called her thinking room. She told me it was where she planned charity events. I never questioned it. Love makes you economical with doubt. After her death, I sealed the room, locked it. I couldn't stand the idea of strangers touching her desk, her books, her scent. But grief decays into curiosity if you let it sit long enough. So I hired a renovation company, told myself it was about closure, about converting it into something useful, a library, a study, a lie. I was standing outside the church for the first time since the funeral when the call came. I turned around, walked back to the car, didn't go inside. My sons sat in the back seat, silent, too perceptive for their age. They had my wife's eyes, observant, patient. "She always loved this place," my eldest said quietly as we drove. I nodded, my jaw locked. She had loved something about it. That much was true. The office smelled different when we arrived. Dust, old paper, and something else. Metallic, faintly sweet. Fear has a smell when it's old enough. The contractor stood near the far wall, helmet off, hands clasped like he was in church now. "We were removing the paneling," he said. "Behind the bookshelf." He didn't finish. I stepped past him. The wall was open. Inside it, neatly sealed, was a second space, narrow, intentional, not a mistake. Inside that space were envelopes, dozens, hundreds, bound in labeled bundles. Photos, USB drives, ledgers, and a framed picture I recognized instantly. My wife standing beside a man I had buried 6 months before her, the pastor. My sons inhaled sharply behind me. One of the envelopes had my name on it. Grief is loud when it's honest, but betrayal is quiet. It sits down and waits for you to finish shaking. I didn't scream, didn't collapse. I felt something colder than anger slide into place. Memory rearranged itself. Her late nights, her sudden privacy, the way the pastor always knew our schedule, how donations vanished, then reappeared in private accounts, how she'd insisted the boys attend certain mentorship sessions. The picture wasn't intimacy. It was documentation, evidence. My wife hadn't been cheating on me. She had been working with him. I spent the next 3 months saying nothing. I'd buried my grief properly this time with discipline. I cataloged everything. The ledgers showed money laundering through the church. The USBs held recordings, confessions, threats, blackmail, and my wife's notes. She had discovered it first. The abuse, the stolen money, the men protected by faith and silence. She hadn't joined him. She had infiltrated him. And when she got too close, too dangerous, she died. The illness was synthetic, the dosage precise. The pastor hadn't just killed her. He had miscalculated me. I became patient. I leaked nothing. I donated publicly. Sat in the front pew. Smiled. I made friends with the contractor. Paid him well to keep quiet. Hired a forensic accountant under the guise of estate planning. I waited. I learned the rhythm of corruption, the days when money moved, the nights when secrets were exchanged, and I planned the ending. The church's annual fundraiser was 6 months later. Lights, cameras, influencers, politicians. My sons stood beside me in tailored suits, calm, ready. They knew everything now. I had taught them how to watch. When the pastor stepped on stage, the projector flickered behind him. Not hymns, files, photos, audio. His voice filled the hall, threatening, begging, confessing. Panic spread faster than sound. People screamed, phones came out, security froze. I didn't move. The final slide appeared. My wife's last recorded message. I trusted faith, her voice said, steady and clear. But I trusted evidence more. The pastor collapsed. Police poured in, and I finally stood. They took him away, screaming scripture. The fallout was surgical. Arrests, asset seizures, headlines. My sons watched from the back seat again, this time silent with understanding. At home, I unlocked the office one last time. I took the framed photo down, replaced it with a single line she'd written in her notes. Truth doesn't need permission. I don't believe in revenge for the thrill of it. I believe in balance. My wife didn't die quietly. She planted a fuse. I just waited long enough to light it. And if there's a lesson in all of this, something worth confessing, it's this. Betrayal isn't the end of love. It's the beginning of precision.